Hello, dear students. How are you? I hope you are all well by the grace of the Almighty Allah. Hope you are staying at home safely. However, I am also well. Today, I am here with a new video class on subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement is one of the most important topics in English grammar. If you want to do well in English, you must have a good knowledge on subject verb agreement. That means the relation between subject and verb. So let us have a nice discussion on subject verb agreement. Before going to the main discussion, I'd like to draw your kind attention to the following fact that if there is any problem, you will write in the commentary box of my YouTube channel, or you may phone me, or you have my email. Okay, you may mail me on different kinds of voice. You may communicate with me to solve the problems. Inshallah, I will try my level best to help you. So before going to the main topics, let us have a small discussion on what is subject and what is verb, and what does the term subject verb agreement mean in overall. Let us discuss. What is subject? Dear students, you know, subject is actually a noun or a noun phrase or a noun clause. In a sentence, subject must be a noun. It must be a noun clause or a noun phrase. That means it must be a noun. It may be a pronoun too. So what is subject? Subject is actually the person, or it is the place. That means it may be the thing, it may be the being, it may be the place that is talked about in a sentence. Okay, it may also be a doer or agent. That means the person who does the action, the verb. So let us read. Subject of a verb, subject of a sentence is the person, place, thing or idea that is doing or being something. Okay, you can find the subject of a sentence if you find the verb. So there is a great relation between the subject and the verb. If you can find the verb, then it will be very easy for your part to find the subject. Okay, how? Ask the question, who or what verbs or verbs. That means who does the action of the verb. Ask the verb. Ask a question to the verb. Who does the action of the verb, or who verbs, or what verbs, who verbed, or what verbed? Then you will get the answer. For instance, let us see. The computers in the learning center must be replaced. The computers in the learning center must be replaced. My dear students, find out the verb in this sentence. It is quite easy. The verb is replaced or must be replaced. That is the verb. So ask the question, what? What must be replaced? The answer would be the computers must be replaced. So my dear students, you have understood what is the subject here. Here the subject is the computer. That means here in this sentence we are talking about computers, and that is why it is the subject. Have you understood? Okay. Now let us have a small discussion on verb. What is verb? Dear students, you know verb is actually a an action word, or the word by which action means in a sentence. So verbs are the action words in a sentence that describe what the subject is doing. Okay, so it's the action word or the word which means an action is usually a verb. Along with nouns, verbs are the main parts of a sentence or phrase telling a story about what is taking place. So, dear students, you have already sensed the fact that there's a great relation between subject and verb. You may get the subject easily if you know the verb. If you ask the verb a question, easily you will get the subject. So from this we came to know the fact that there is a good relation between the subject and verb, and the subject will tell how the verb will be. This is their agreement, and this is called subject verb agreement. The relation between the subject and the verb will be termed as subject verb agreement. Okay, dear students, let us proceed and see. The basic rule of subject verb agreement is that singular subject must have singular verbs and plural subjects take a plural verb. That is the most important rule, foremost rule, or the basic rule or the ground rule, that subject and verb will agree to the point that if the subject becomes singular, the verb will be singular, and if the subject becomes plural, the verb will be plural. I repeat, so if the subject becomes singular, the verb will be singular, and if the subject becomes plural, the verb will be plural. This is the basic rule, or this is the main rule, or this is the ground rule. Today we will continue our discussion only on this topic. Now the most important thing is that you will have to know whether the subject is singular or the subject is plural. If you can be able to know it, then it will be quite easy for your part to write the correct verb form. Okay, so today our challenge is to know easily, our challenge is to know the subject or whether the subject is singular or the plural. If we can overcome this challenge, and then it will be quite easy for our part to write the right form of verb. Okay, let us see the term subject verb agreement. Okay, let us see subject verb agreement refers to the fact that subject and verb in a sentence must agree in number. Okay, I've already said subject and verb must agree in number. You know, numbers are of two types, singular number and plural numbers. Okay, in other words, they both must be singular or they both must be plural. Look at this sentence, my dear students. They, that means the subject and the verb, must be singular or must be plural. That means if the subjects become singular, the verb will be singular, and if the subject becomes plural, the verb will be plural. Okay, that means a singular verb is followed by a singular subject. Plural subject, singular verb is not possible. Singular subject, plural verb is not possible. Okay, the tricky part is in knowing the singular and plural forms of the subjects and verbs. Sometimes you may get puzzled, okay, on the matter singular subject or singular verb, plural subject or plural verb. Let us see and let us make it clear. Singular and plural objects or nouns are usually pretty easy. That means it is quite easy for the students to understand or to identify the singular subject. But what about the singular verb or plural verb? Let us be clear. In most cases, the plural form of noun has an s at the end, isn't it? Like car, cars, book, books, fan, fans, like this. Usually, a noun becomes plural, taking an s at the end of it. But remember, verbs don't follow this pattern. Okay? Verbs don't follow this pattern. Rather, adding an s to a verb doesn't make a plural. Okay? Adding an s to a verb doesn't make a plural. Suppose walk or walks. Like this rule, car or cars, car is singular, cars is plural. In this way, or following the rule of the noun, walk should be singular and walks should be plural. But remember, it is quite opposite. Okay, which one is the singular form and which one is the plural form here? Here's a tip that, as I have already said, ask yourself what you use with the word they. Suppose they walk or they walks. Easy, it's quite easy, and definitely you will say they walk because they is plural and you will add walk. So here walk is plural and walks is singular, and that is why I've said it's quite opposite to this rule. That means taking s at the end, a noun becomes plural, but taking s at the end, verbs become singular. Okay. So my dear students, I think you have become quite clear about singular subject and singular verb and plural subject and plural verb. Now we will move to our main discussion. So we have already talked about the basic rule that a singular subject, singular verb is followed by a singular subject. Okay. Number one, we have come to the rules of subject verb agreement. The pronoun, pronoun is the word that is actually the substitute of noun. So pronoun you always takes a plural verb. Remember, okay, again, I want to say pronoun you always takes a plural verb. So you are, you have, you were, you walk. Okay, so you is always taken plural or considered or regarded plural, and so the verb will be plural, and that is why here in the sentences you were invited. So you is the plural, were is the plural. You are asked, are plural verb. You sing a song. Here my dear friends, look, the verb sing hasn't take as with it. That means it is plural verb. It is not singular. Okay, dear students, this one is quite easy and I think you have understood it. Let us move to the next. If a sentence begins with here or there, okay, the verb agrees with the subject which follows it. Let us make it clear. It is not possible for here and there to tell whether the verb will be singular or the plural. You cannot be sure, only saying here or there. These are actually the introductory words. These are called introductory words. These words will only introduce the sentence, that means start the sentence. So there are is possible, there is also possible, there has is possible, there have is also possible. So my dear students, have you got puzzled? No, you shouldn't get puzzled, because the noun or the subject that follows the verb, okay, that means the noun or the pronoun or the noun phrase after the verb will tell whether the verb will be singular and the verb will be plural. So my dear students, here in this case, sorry, you will have to look at the nouns after the verbs, and if that noun becomes singular, your verb will be singular, and if that noun becomes plural, your verb will be plural. Have you got it? Here, look at this sentence. Here are the ways on how to preserve meat. Suppose this verb is omitted. In this way, be like it is written, you will have to write whether it is or are. You may also be told to write is or are to find out. Okay, is or are. So it's not possible for us to write down the verb using here. Okay, so look at the noun, the OS. Here the OS is the noun, isn't it? It is a subject, and the OS, it's a plural noun. So the verb will be plural and it will take are, and that is why it will be here are. Understood, my dear students? Let us have another example. There is a huge gap between the rich and the poor, so there can't be able to, or there is not able to tell whether the verb will be singular or plural. So dear students, there's nothing to get puzzled. Look at the noun, a huge gap. A huge gap. Is it singular? Obviously, it is singular. Definitely, it is singular. So the verb will be singular, and that is why it is become is. There is huge gap between the rich and the poor. Dear students, is it clear to you? If it is clear, I think you will never get puzzled here finding out the right form of the verbs. Okay, let us move to the next rule. What is written here? If two subjects, one single and one plural. Here's another problem. One single and one plural. Two subjects are connected by either or neither nor. What should I do then? There are two subjects, one single and one plural, and they are connected by either or neither nor. The verb agrees with the nearer subject. Remember it, my dear students. Who is subject? Nearer subject or nearer subject of the verb. Okay, let us have an example and be clear. Neither the players nor the coach. Dear students, look here, there are two subjects, the players or the coach, and it is connected by nor. It is connected by nor, the players and the coach. And what I've said? I've said the verb will be following the nearer subject. So here it is the verb. Suppose it is not written, or it is in gap, or it is written like this, B. Okay, so dear students, which one is nearer? Is it the players or the coach? Definitely we will say the coach is nearer here, and that is why it will tell whether the verb will be singular or plural. So the coach is singular here. Is there any doubt? No doubt, I think. It's only one coach, the coach. And as it is singular, the verb will be singular. Dear students, I think you have understood. This is one of the most important roles. And in many competitive exams like admission test or different kinds of or different others competitive exams, you will randomly asked from this topic or from this role. Okay, several times you will get this in your life. So my dear students, look at it very carefully, remember it very carefully. Nearer subject, as I have said. Okay, let us move to the next rule. A singular subject followed by intervening words or phrases such as with, as well as, in addition to, accompanied by, together with. So no less than is the another intervening term or phrase. Dear students, here we may get puzzled because these terms will intervene you, will try to distract you, will disturb you to find out the relation between the subject and the verb. And that is why these phrases have been called intervening words or phrases. It will intervene, it will come between the subject and verb, and they will try to distract you, they will try to puzzle you. The question setter will try to puzzle you, giving these terms or phrases between the subject and the verb. Students, never get puzzled with these intervening words or phrases. Okay, look at the subject and then write the verb. If the subject becomes singular, your verb will be singular. So don't get bothered about these intervening words. Wherever the verb is, find it out and write it in singular form if the subject becomes singular. So let us make it easy with an example. Zach, accompanied by his sisters. Most often, students get puzzled looking at this term or subject or noun, his sisters. It is not the subject here. Accompanied by his sister. This is the intervening phrase. That means this phrase will distract you. Okay, will make a disturbance between the subject and the verb. But my dear students, after this class, you won't be disturbed or intervened or puzzled with these terms or with these phrases because you know the role. Verb will always be followed by the subject. So what is the subject here? It's the Jack. Jack is the subject. So whatever may be the words or phrases or clause between the subject and the verb, you should not get puzzled. Here Jack is singular, so your verb will be singular, and that is why it has become is. Dear students, are you clear? I think you are clear. And so let us move to the next rule. Here, singular subjects joined by and require by a plural verb except when they mean one thing. Okay, let us be clear. Sometimes you may find two singular subjects added by and then the subject should be considered plural, and that is why the verb will also be plural. Okay, Larry and Mercy are reading novels. Here two nouns are added with the connector and that is why it becomes plural, and so it has taken the plural verb are. But remember, when they mean one thing, okay, then the verb will be singular. Suppose my teacher and friend, that means the same person. Who is my teacher is my friend. So we are not talking about two persons here. The same person is my teacher and my friend. So it has oneness, or it has one being. It has become one being. It may also be one thing, and in that cases our verb will be singular. So dear students, let's move to the next. Two singular subjects joined by either or neither nor take a singular verb. Two singular subjects. Okay, now both the subjects are singular, either or neither nor, then the verb will be singular. Either mommy or daddy, and the verb has become singular. Is coming with me at the outbound. Okay, either mommy or daddy is coming. So this one is the connector, and two nouns are added here, daddy or mommy. So the verb will be singular because our subject is singular, noun is singular, and there is why it is becoming singular. What is that thing? Let us move to the next. If a singular subject is followed by a phrase containing a plural noun, the verb is singular. Look, singular subject is followed by a phrase containing plural noun, and then the verb will be singular because our subject is singular. Suppose one of the boys, here is the verb. One of the boys. Look at it very carefully. What is it here? One of the boys. So I'm not talking with all the boys. I'm only talking with one boy. So one here is singular, and that is why the verb will be singular. Okay. One of the members. I'm not talking about all the members. I'm talking only one. So our verb has become singular and it will take S. Okay, my dear students, note it down, very important. And then you should not get puzzled. Okay, let us move to the next. The indefinite pronouns several, few, both, many, others are always plural. Remember, several, few, both, others. Actually, they don't mean one thing or one being. Okay, they are plural, and that is why verb will be plural. Like both were asking to be freed. Both. It's not a one thing. Several. It's not one being. It's not one being, and that is why it has taken plural verb because both, several. These are indefinite pronouns, and these are plural, and that is why they have taken plural verb. Dear students, I think you have understood it very clearly, and let us move to the next. The indefinite pronouns some, most, all, none are singular or plural according to the meaning of the sentence. That means they may be singular or they may be plural. It will depend on the very meaning of the sentence. Suppose some of the girls, here girls, it's countable noun and it's plural, and that is why some will be taken as plural and it will take plural verb were. Okay, But in the next sentence, there's a great scoop to get puzzled or to be puzzled. Some of the ice cream it will take as. Okay, and that is why I have told you that it will depend on the very meaning of the sentence. So here you have lots of scope to get puzzled. But if you can remember this rule, you will never be like this. In the next rule, when any of the following indefinite pronoun is the subject, the verb is singular. So look at the pronouns. Everybody, each, no one, another, anybody, nobody, every, nothing, everything, anyone, either, neither, everyone, somebody, someone. So when any of the following indefinite pronoun is the subject, only these are the subjects. Okay, and then what will happen? The verb is singular. Like every man and woman in this hall is a member. So here the subject every or subject has every, okay, indefinite pronoun, and the ground rule is it will take a singular subject, and that is why it has become each. Have you understood, my dear students? I think you have understood. Let us move to our next rule. This one is also very important, my dear students, and very often questions are set from this rule. Expressions of time, money, weight, and distance. Again, I'd like to draw your attention to these words. Expressions of time, money, 40 years is the expression of time. 40 years is a long time. Is, it has taken is. Those the subject is plural. Okay, money, 10 lakh is a huge amount. Weight, distance, 70 miles is a long distance. Okay, so these are the expressions or expressions with time, money, weight, and distance are singular. So what is the verb? The verb will be also singular, and that is why 2 years is a long time to wait. 2 years. Though it looks like a plural verb, but it is the expression of time, and that is why it has taken a singular subject. $1 million was given. Okay, though it looks plural, it will take a singular subject because this one is the expression of time, money, or weight, and this will take singular verb, or the verb will be singular. Okay, so what is the rule? Expression of time, money, weight, distance are singular, even if the form is plural. They look like plural or the form is plural, but they will take the singular verb. Okay, dear students, this is also one of the most important roles today I will discuss. The following words are always plurals. Okay, pants, trousers, pliers, scissors, shears, tongs. Okay, however, if the word is pair, okay, these are actually pairs. If the word pair is used, the verb is singular, but separately it will be plural. Suppose the pants are torn into two. Here it is separate, it is torn, and that is why it is taken plural verb. Okay, are. But the pair of scissors, here is pair, that means one, as you can see in the picture, and that is why the bar has become singular. Dear students, I think you have understood. and due to time constraint I will have to move to the next rule, and very quickly I'll have to finish it. Okay. Certain nouns, though plural in form, are singular in meaning and therefore take a singular verb. Look at these words. Mathematics, there's an S at the end. News, okay. In spite of the fact that the word ends with S, but actually it is not plural. Rather, it is singular, and that is why it will take singular verb. And in one of my videos I have told the word news, okay, like N for north, E for east, W for west, and S for south. So this is what is a singular word, and you will take a singular verb. Okay. When the word is preceded by a, it takes a plural verb. When it is preceded by the, it takes a singular verb. Okay. Again, when the word is preceded by a, it takes a plural verb, and when it is preceded by the, it takes a singular verb. Like a number of students. A number of, it's a phrase. A number of, okay, that means many, a lot of, a huge number of. So it's not a singular thing, it's a plural. So a number of students. Here it doesn't mean that only one student, rather it means many students are waiting outside. But here the number of students. Here I'm not talking about whether the students are 10, 20 or 100. Okay. But I'm talking about the number or their number. Then it will take singular subject as a singular verb, as you can see here, is. The number of students outside is not recorded yet. Okay, dear students, try to remember, okay, most important things. Rule 16. When fractions are used, very often you will ask from these fractions, okay, or from this matter, from these topics. When fractions are used, the verbs agrees with the object of the phrase. When fractions are used, the verb agrees with the object of the phrase. Suppose one half of the cake. So is the fraction one half, and in this way it is written one half, isn't it? And here 1/4, it is like 1/4. So these are the fractions. When it will be asked, you will have to look at the noun, okay, or object of the phrase. Suppose one of the cake, it is singular, so the verb will be singular, was. 1/4 of the employees, here it is plural, and that is why your verb will be plural, and that is why it has become were, and here it is was. One half of the cake was consumed, but here in the sentence 1/4 of the employees were attending the seminar. I think you have understood, my dear students. Next, we'll skip some rules. Adjectives used as nouns are considered plural. Remember it, very important rule. Suppose here the poor and here the efficient. You know the word the poor is an adjective. Sorry, the poor, only poor, it's an adjective. Isn't it? Like efficient is also an adjective. But taking the before them, they will act like plural noun. Okay? Poor is adjective, efficient is adjective, but if they take the before them, they will be the noun and they will act as plural noun, and that is why the verb will be plural. Suppose the poor are to be helped and the efficient are what this country needs. Our country needs efficient people, and then our country will develop. Like this, I can tell several other sentences like the poor are sometimes happy, the rich are not always happy. So, who are always happy? Do you know, my students? Only the pious are always happy. So, in spite of the fact that the poor, rich, virtuous, okay, pious, efficient, these are the adjectives. But taking the before them, they will act like plural noun, and the verb will also be plural. And this is the very last rule I'm going to talk to you, and look at it very carefully. Collective nouns. I think, my dear students, you know what is collective noun? Collectively, it will refer to the something or something collectively. Okay, collective nouns may be singular and may be plural. Very sad and very puzzling. Okay, collective nouns may be singular and may be plural depending on whether the individual members are acting individually or collectively. Simply, you know, collective nouns are singular. Suppose the group, the class, the committee. Okay, so simply or usually, you know, they are singular and they take singular verbs. But remember, if if the members of the group or the committee or of the collective noun, okay, party, then if they are separated, okay, if the members are separated or if they act individually, not collectively, then it will be a plural noun and then it will take a plural verb. But if the members of the committee or the collective noun work collectively, jointly, or if they are same in their opinion, then the noun will be singular and the verb will be singular. But if the members are different in their opinion or give different opinions, and they will then work as plural subject or noun, and then obviously the verb will be plural. Like these are the collective nouns: company, group, committee, crowd, jury, flock, team. Okay, so if the members work collectively, the verb will be singular, and if they are different in their opinion or they work individually, and then the subject will be plural and the verb will also be plural. Let us have an example to be clear. The committee is against the plan. That means the whole committee now is working jointly and the committee is against the plan. So now it is singular, that means s, and that is why the verb will also be singular. But my dear students, here the committee are of different opinion, but it is different. So it is plural, the committee is plural, okay, and the verb is also plural. My dear students, have understood? So if the collective noun or the members of the collective noun work jointly, collectively, then it will take singular verb, and if it works individually or separately, it will take plural verb. My dear students, in spite of the fact that these are quite puzzling, quite disturbing, okay, and at the same time you may be distracted or interpret several times, if you can know the subject, your verb will be definitely in right form. Dear students, be careful about the agreement between the subject and the verb. And if you can be, your English will be good standard. Hoping so. Thank you very much.